What's up, everybody? We're back at the Z Casino, Black Hawk, Colorado. I got another roulette system video going in for you guys. $10 is going in right now. What we're going to be doing is a double dozen double up. So basically, we're not going to be doing a martingale progression, but all we're going to be doing is a simple dozen dub, playing a double dozen, and we're going to double up when we lose. So if we with the loss here, we're going to add 25 cents to each, and if we get a loss on that, we're going to add 50 cents to each, and if we get a loss on that, $1 to each, so on and so forth, doubling all the way up. And after 15 minutes, we're going to see where we end up. So this is for the people that don't necessarily want to go really deep or have a very heavy progression doing the martingale, where you risk, having to risk a lot of units for a small unit gain. So basically, if you run bad, you're hoping to recoup by the fact that you're going to get a 66% hit rate, or a little less than that because of the zeros. But yeah, so we're going to play this out and see how it works. 15 minutes, double dozen, double up. Nothing but that. We'll see where we end up at. You can compare and contrast it to the double dozen martingale if you'd like. So that's going to be a 6. It's going to be a loss right off the rip.
Number is 6 black.
All right, so we're going to go to 50 cents. All we're going to do is repeat and then double. And we're going to hope that, we're not going to recover all of our bets every time we win, but every time we do get a win, we're going to hope to recover or regain some of the units we lost back on previous levels, based on the fact that we should have a pretty good hit rate. So here we go, double dozen, double up. Let's get it. 15 minutes. We're a minute in. We got one miss so far.
No more bets. Thank you.
And I've played this system a couple times. This is something I would do if I was playing a higher limit table and I wasn't really comfortable, but I wanted to take a shot. The double dozen coverage is really good. You have a pretty good hit rate and a pretty good chance of success, but you do go on bad runs where the single dozen will keep hitting like it is right now. So that's a 3. We got a 6, then we get a 3. So in the case that we were martingaling, we'd already be up to 75, 150, 225 each. So in our case, because we're only doing a double up, we're going to be at $2, but once you'll see once that we get a hit, we're not going to be ahead. We're still going to be behind. So if we do get the hit here, we're going to have a $3 win, and that's going to leave us at $9.50. We're in for 10. So basically, we're going to have a 50-cent deficit by not willing to martingale in order to come out ahead when we do get our victory. So something to consider. But once again, this is a lower volatility style of play where you will need less of a bankroll or less of a buy-in compared to a double dozen martingale. And this is one of the many variations that you can do to play a double dozen. So once again, I'm just trying to show you guys all the different ways that you can play. You don't necessarily have to martingale. You don't have to do a full double up. You can come up with your own progressions. All right, so we're going to get a hit there. So we got 33. And that's going to leave us at 950, like I said. So now we're going to reset back down. And then this is also something you can do. Because we need to make up a deficit, I'd rather not get 2 hits in a row where I'm down. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to 50 cents. And if we get the hit here, we're going to be back to even. And then we'll reset our progression, and we'll start all over from the 25-cent units. Another way that you could modify playing something like this is that once you do get your win and you see how much you're down, in this case it's 2 units or 50 cents, we could increase by 75 cents on each dozen that we're playing, so that when we do get a hit on this hit, if we do, we're going to be up and we're going to be ahead. So you're kind of tiering out or mitigating your risk rather than martingaling on your losses. You're spreading out the risk or the losses amongst multiple bets. All right, so that's a 30, and that's going to give us a win.
The winning number is 30. So
as you can see, we're back up to even. And I'm going to do what I said I was going to do, and I'm just going to reset the progression. So we're going back down, 25 cents on each of the dozen. And then another thing you could do, or I guess rather than reset, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go back to the 50-cent units. And that way, if we do gain, we're going to be up 50 cents. So that'll kind of put us up. I think, maybe we've had 5 or 6 spins so far. So if we do get the units here, it'll be a 2-unit gain on roughly 6 spins. So that's not a bad, it's roughly 33%. So not bad considering the amount of spins that we have versus the reward gained. But there's lots of things to consider, dynamics to consider. With long odds, you have the potential to make a lot really quick if you run hot. With this, you gotta run hot and play for a while in order to make a lot. So keep that in mind as well. All right, I thought that was gonna go in the 9, but we get a hit again. So we get it on the 28, and that's going to give us a win. And now I'm going to kind of show you an example of what would happen. So I'm ahead, I'm in for 10, I'm sitting at 10.50. Rather than risking more money than I need to, I'm going to put all my profit into play, which calls for a regression. So rather than progressing my bets, I'm regressing back down to 25 cents. So if we get the hit here, I'm going to be ahead 3 units total. So that'll put me up to 1075, and I'm in for 10. If not, I'm going to be sitting at 10, and I'm going to double up, and we'll see where we're at there.
No more bets. Thank you.
And there's a lot more flexibility in applying a system like this with multiple steps or tiers where you're mitigating the risk. You're not necessarily going all in or hitting the gas or, you know, just going all after it right away. So you can spread out your risk depending on how big your risk tolerance is. All right, so that's a 16. That's going to be another hit.
The winning number is.
I thought that was going to go on the 4 there for a second.
Place your bets, please.
All right, and now, you know, you could also do something here where you could press your bets, and, you know, maybe I'll do that. I'll kind of show you guys some different variations of ways that you can play. You can press your bets right here. So I got 25-cent win. I'm adding 25 cents from my previous wins because I didn't get enough to fully press, but if I get this, I'll add another quarter to each, and if I get a loss, I'll go to $1 right away. I'll double up, and then we'll hope, and then if I get a loss there, we'll go to $2, and we'll hope to kind of gain some more units through avoiding losing them and having to dig back from behind. Hopefully that makes sense. And once again, I do these all one take, raw, unedited, so you guys can see how these systems work out in a real casino environment when playing. I'm not trying to portray a specific result. All right, so that's 18, so that's a win. So we got the parlay, and I could keep going with the parlay. I could add 75 cents, you know, I could do that, but I'm looking at a pretty good gain here. I got a 6-unit gain, or excuse me, a 5-unit gain in roughly 6 minutes, so we're almost halfway through. I think what I'm going to do now is I'm going to drop back down to our starting point at 25 cents, and if we get another unit here, I'm only risking 50 cents to win 25 cents, but that 25 cents will add up, and if I get that, I'll be at 11.50. So let's see where this takes us. And once again, you know, choose your poison, pick your poison, do what you'd like, modify however you see fit, you know. Add some bets, subtract some bets, subtract the level of progressions, add some progressions. Do whatever you like to make you the amount of units that you're desiring to make and the amount of time you're playing. All right, so that's 33, so that's another hit. And, you know, once again, this is to be expected when you're playing a high coverage system. You should be hitting the table more often than not. So, and once again, let's do a. Actually, you know what? We're not gonna. Let's press. Let's go for the press. Let's see if we can get it. So if we get this here, that'll be a $1.50 win. We'll add that to there, so we'll be at $12, which will be a total of 8 units gained. Playing a high coverage system, not martingaling. We are playing a slight progression, but the progression is doubling every time, so you're not going to be getting ahead if you have to go deep. You're going to need to work from behind to recover your losses, but you can do that by spreading it out amongst your wins. You can parlay, you can anti-martingale, you can press. There's lots of different ways. Lots of dynamics. But I hope you guys enjoy these videos. I hope, oh, that's a 0 or a 1. That's a 0. All right, so we're going to get another loss there. So once again, I'm not going to martingale. If I was martingaling, I would go to $1.50, but I'm just going to go to 1. And basically what that does is it doesn't recover the full amount that I was pressing. It basically recovers almost the wins from before. I'm almost at break even by doing this because I pressed my wins and now I'm martingaling the losses on the parlay. So if we get the win here, it's going to add 3 to that, so we'll be at 11.50. We would have been at 12 had we gotten that other hit before. So
no more bets. Thank you.
We'll see what happens here. And if we miss this, we're going to go to $2 each. And you don't even have to do the full progression. You can go to $1.50 if you want. Yeah, you can go to $3. You can change however you want. Once again, this is just framework to build a strategy that works for you. All right, so we get the 30, we get the win. So that worked out for us.
The winning number is 30.
And when doing stuff like this, I have a very high confidence because of the coverage that we're doing. You know, when you're doing longer odds and you're going deep, you start to lose confidence, and it's going to be really demoralizing. So with a system like this, where you're covering majority of the table, a lot of times, and let's drop back down to our original amount. A lot of times like this, when you're covering most of the table, it really does give you a lot of confidence, even when you're deeper in your levels. And it gives you the confidence that you'll be able to come back, that you're not going to dig from behind and keep digging yourself in a hole. So that's something else to consider when trying a system like this. But I have played this in the past. I do like systems like this. You're not going to get an insane amount of units really fast, but you will grind out consistent wins if that's what you're looking for. If you're the type of player that only likes to win a few units per session, then this is definitely a system that, you know, could work for you. Oh, that was dirty. Bounced out of the 24 into the 13, but luckily the 13 is still in our section, so we're going to take that win. And we've been pressing, so why don't we stick with that? Why don't we repeat double? So this is an anti-martingale on top of our double dozen. So once again, this is a way that you can kind of play with your progression to regain units that you normally wouldn't through by not martingaling your losses. Kind of turbocharging your wins to make up for your losses, or your unwillingness to make up for your losses via the martingale.
No more bets.
And once again, we're in for 10. We're sitting at 10.75. We got $1 out there on the second and third dozen, 50 cents each. Let's see if we can get another hit here. We're gonna go for 15 minutes and then we'll see where we're at. You guys can compare and contrast with other systems that I've played. All right, and we get the 3, so that's gonna do us no good. So we're gonna have to go to $1. So we're gonna repeat double. We're at $1, and now if we get this hit, that's gonna put us at $3. So that'll put us at, what are we gonna be at? 11.75. So we're not gonna be past the point where we were potentially before, but we're flirting right around the same area. So as you can see, this doesn't really get you ahead fast, but you don't really get too far behind in a hurry either, where you feel a little overwhelmed and like you have to make up for major losses. So once again, another dynamic to consider.
Thank you.
But let's get it, we're confident. Second and third dozen, here we go. And we're in for 10, we're sitting at 8.75 in the bank. We have $1 on the second dozen, $1 on the third dozen, $2 out there, so let's get that hit. All right, we get the lucky number 13 that keeps showing up for us. Look at that, unreal, we'll take it. All right, so as you can see, we're in for 10. We're sitting at 11.75. We've been slowly grinding some units, and that's basically if I were to kind of try to summarize the system, that's what it's going to be, is a grind, you know. But the higher the units you're playing for, the more you're going to be able to win in a shorter period of time. Given that this table right here, as you can see, it's a 25 cent min, 5,000 max. If you started 25 cent min like I'm doing, this is about the expectation. So, you know, if I were to look at what we have, I have 11.75 out there. So we're in for a gain of what, 7 units total right now if I were to walk away. So, you know, if you're playing $10 units, that's $70 if that does it for you. This may be a system you want to play. If you're playing $20 units, that's $140. So kind of shows you the difference in the unit sizes and winning expectation. Ooh, that was like it was almost like something blew it over the 27 minute. All right, so that's another win. That's going to put us up to 12. So that's our 8 unit mark. So that's $2 profit. And we're at the 12.5 minute mark. So we're going to keep going. Like I said, I'm going to try to go to 15 minutes here and hope for some positive results, and then you guys can compare and contrast. If we get a super negative result, then I mean, hey, that's it. But I don't think that's realistic in the next 2 minutes, so we'll see what happens. 25 cents, resetting, or we're back down to our original base amount.
No more bets.
Just trying to add units one at a time. And once again, this is the double dozen double up, not the martingale, but it is a progression of sorts, so. All right, let's get it. Let's get that second dozen or third dozen. I think the third dozen's gone cold right now, so. Oh, what a dirty bounce. 22 into the 5. All right, so we're going to get our miss here. And once again, it's going to give us another point to demonstrate what we're doing. We're doubling up. We're not martingaling. So if we were martingaling, we'd be at $1.50 each. We're only at $1 each. But if we do get the win here, we're going to be back down to the 12 units, or the $12 mark, which is an 8 unit gain. So we didn't gain much, but we didn't lose much either. Let's see if we can get it. 14 minutes in. I think this will be the last spin if we get it. Total gain of 8 units, $2. And once again, do the math if you play different unit sizes or you want to try to start at a higher denomination. These systems are flexible. You just got to do some math and do some adjustments. All right, we get to 23, we get to Michael Jordan. All right, so that's 14.5 minutes. It's not exactly the 15-minute mark, but I know we've gone over on some other videos, so I guess we're going to go under a little bit. We were in for 10. We're going to be out for 12. So that's a, like I said, 8 unit gain, $2 gain for us. You can do the math if you want, depending on your unit sizes. But once again, double dozen, double up. And you guys get to see how it works in a real-life casino example. So I'm in for 10, out for 12. Like and subscribe. Stay tuned. I got more system videos coming. Other casino games played as well on the channel. Check out our other videos. I appreciate all the support. Thank you. Until next time.